proof or evidence of rape culture, and the fact that we urge women to do these things, that's not like sexist. That's like not, oh, why are we addressing the women and putting the onus on the women and not the men? If you took this same principle and you said, like, you know, we urge people to have an alarm system, we urge people to lock their doors at night, we urge people to, you know, check their windows, and not, why can't we urge criminals or burglars to stop breaking in people's houses?
I think those are false equivalencies.
No.
Because we do urge people not to steal. We do urge people not to hurt others. And people do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And we urge people not to sexually assault women or anybody else.
But the thing of the matter is that women are urged to do this. These things happen to women often, and quite more often to women than men. So women are urged. I've been told all these things since I was a child.
Right. My point was that I didn't get to finish is that in a society we have people who do horrible things, which we have no control over. That includes rape, murder, and everything else, and from breaking and entering and the gamut. I mean, you can list it. It's since there have been people who have done these things. You can't stop those people any more than, you know, have laws and this and that, whatever. But we still urge people to protect themselves or to do, you know, to not do this or to do that or whatever, because you can't stop that person from doing what they're going to do, but you can help that person. You can help the victim or the would-be victim to protect themselves and to, you know, do things that are, we're not saying that it's the woman's fault that men or whoever does these things. We're just saying, like, hey, you know, watch out, protect yourself, and this is how you can do it. You know, self-defense classes, yada, yada, yada. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing.
But no, it's not the same thing. Here's why it's not. Because there is a culture where men are allowed to do things that women are not safe in our culture. And men are not educated from a young age to respect women correctly. And we see it all the time, where men get off. Like we're only just now bringing lots of stuff to par that would have like we'd have let slide years ago, or they just gotten away with it, or we have just been tisk or pat on or slap on the wrist, just like kind of like with racism. Like there's like we can say like, oh, hold on, let me not even go there. Let me just stick with the topic at hand. I just don't think our men are being educated to respect women properly. I really, really, truly don't. I do think that there is an onus on women. It's the same thing like we used to do with birth control. Mm-hmm. Like a woman should protect herself from getting pregnant, but why is it always the woman's responsibility when you're doing it too? You know, the men need to take some responsibility as well. Same thing with, I think, sexual assault. Like women, it's always like you have to do this. You can't dress this way. You can't live your life freely, but a man can do whatever he wants to do. And we never tell men, you can't do that. No, you can't touch a woman that way. No, you can't. We're not teaching men young enough to respect women. That's my opinion.
It's just for me, it's just about accountability. Like this is literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, things that women should do to try to protect themselves. But we give men one thing to be accountable for? Can you be accountable for yourselves? Can we urge you guys to not do that?
The only thing I've heard in my lifetime that I was told explicitly about how to treat women is don't hit them.
Okay, but let me say this also. Treating women with a certain amount of respect or a certain way is not the equivalent of sexual assault. No. Especially the way that this is framed. This is like going out rape. You don't have to teach a guy not to go out and rape a woman.
Apparently we do, because there's a problem in our culture where it's happening all the time.
Far too many women have experienced
it. You guys' perspective is that a regular average guy, if not
yes,
that's not taught.
I'll answer your question. Yes.
Y'all,
yes,
that's
because
insane.
Because
that's insanity.
Let me finish. Because I have a lot of girlfriends, and I have to say, I would probably say like 80% of them have been sexually assaulted
in some way.
I'm not. That's not hyperbole. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversation, and almost all those cases, the men got off. Usually because the woman didn't report it. Because it's in our society. Like they know what they're gonna have to go through, and the man's probably gonna get off, or nobody's gonna believe them. That's in our culture, and I'm having a hard time understanding why are you so offended. Because there's nothing.
Because I don't think the average man has to be taught not to rape women. Or
They
else
don't know.
the average guy is just going around raping women.
So
I don't believe that.
So okay, you don't have to believe it, but this statement still stands. Can we please urge men not to sexually assault women?
And not that I'm so offended. It's just that I don't agree with it. And I think it's the same thing as saying, like I said, the example that I set up from the beginning.
Yeah, but
we urge people to protect themselves against everything.
Okay, now I'm going to use race because I think this is something that you can understand in the equivalency. You know, I hear white people say, I don't need to see white privilege. I'm not privileged. I'm not this. I don't see that. I don't see that. But it happens. It's there. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not real. Women are not respected for their bodies and they're used as toys by men in our society. Even average men think of women as less than, and I see it all the time.
You don't understand. You don't understand. Some men feel like when they have an opportunity to take advantage of a woman, they will take that opportunity. They will take it. They will take it. They will take it. A regular person, somebody that you know, if they have an opportunity, they will use it. Trust me.
I don't agree.
You don't agree because that's not your experience. You've never been a woman. Have you talked to women about this? There's a lot of women out there.
But I'm a man. I'm a man, and I know I didn't have to be taught not to rape women.
Okay, so you one man that is like that. You are the anomaly.
I'm not some rare dinosaur.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
And again, I'm telling you, it's in.
Did you need to be taught that?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
So,
first of all,
so if you hadn't,
no, hold on.
I
let you talk fully.
You have not. You've cut me off several times, and I'll let you. Now I'm asking you. So if you were not taught that, that means you believe that you would have gone out and raped a woman.
That's not the point. That's not. No, you're making this. You're making this like, oh, if this happens, and that happens. That's not how the world works, Dino. There's way too many more complications than that. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm gay. I'm not fucking with no women. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two.
But you're still a man.
Let me finish this because you're not. You just don't want. You just want to be right. You don't want to hear right now. Please hear me. There is a deeper issue. It's not black and white like that. It's not like.
I'm not saying it is.
It's not that you tell somebody to do something and, okay, now I know not to do that. It is in our culture and our society that a man can treat a woman any way he wants to. It's in our media. It's in our music. And it is in our... It's just in our culture. It's even in our justice system. Men don't get the penalties they often deserve for the way they treat women. And I'm with DeJong. I know a lot of girlfriends that have been, if a man gets a chance, an average man, and I don't care what kind of upbringing they have, church, streets, they're going to take advantage. I've seen it too many times, so I know it's true.
Okay, well, clearly we...
Plus, I stick to the same point. There's nothing wrong with telling people, treat people right. Let's urge people to not sexually assault. That's great. I'm all behind that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a problem with that either.
Apparently you do. You had a whole segment on the show about it.
No, my point is, well, okay, never mind. So you want to, okay.
I didn't bring it up. I did not bring it up. I did not have any issue with this. I think this is a great post. I've seen this post. I've liked it many times. I've loved it even.
I'm saying there's nothing wrong with urging women to watch out for themselves.
No one's that is great, but men need to be held more accountable. That's what this is about. Men need to be held more accountable. Period. We got to step up. We're not doing it right, obviously. This woman is in tears right now.
Well, yes, men are horrible.
No, that's not what I said.
That's what the message of society is.
That's what you're hearing. That's what you're hearing.
Are horrible and will and have to be taught. Have to be taught not to rape women. It is in their nature to rape and abuse
putting
women.
All that. You are putting all that on there.
No, that is not. That is not. That's what you guys are saying.
No,
that's what the world is saying.
You are putting all that on there,
and that's the only thing that that was my only point.
And my point is just like the racism thing. You sound like the people that say like, it's not my fault there's racism in the world. I'm not racist. There's no such thing as white privilege. Yes, there is. Just because you don't want to see it doesn't mean it is the same.
I'm not saying that there aren't men that do this. Obviously, they are.
But you think that they're rare. They're not rare. This happens every day.
Well, I don't even know if it's rare, but I don't think it's like a typical male natural thing to do.
That's not the point. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that we need is not typical or average or rare or a natural thing for a woman to have to carry keys or to cover her drink or to not get drunk around men or not to walk alone at night. They have to do that because the way men act, not because the way women act.
Right.
Even men have to do a lot of those things in certain circumstances.
Dino,
Dino.
You want to argue this? We're not going to win you over. So please let's move on because this is actually insulting to women, I think.
I'm personally insulted.
All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get into these topics.
News and noteworthy. The Shiznit.
30 shot over a 3-hour span in Chicago. We haven't had a lot of Chicago news lately, Pip, including an 11-year-old and at least 11 teens.
This breaks my heart.
Wow, this is
not the first time we had this story about like all these shootings like over a weekend, but 3 hours.
3 hours is like, that's crazy. That sounds like some wartime statistics.
Right.
And I have a little clip here.
Dozens and dozens of families waited for word on shooting victims being treated at Stroger Hospital.
This hospital is almost like a trauma center in a war zone.
The hospital says it was never placed on lockdown, but police blocked the emergency room driveway amid rising tensions. It was the culmination of a shameful and shocking night of violence in which at least 5 people were killed and more than 30 people were wounded in a 24-hour period between Saturday at 10 in the morning and Sunday at 10 in the morning.
It affects the whole community.
The violence included an unheard of 5 mass shootings, incidents in which 3 or more people were shot. In Gresham, 8 people were shot. In Lawndale, 6 people were shot. In a separate incident in Lawndale, 4 were shot. In West Humboldt Park, 4 people were shot, and in West Garfield Park, 3 were shot.
We have a challenge, and it requires all of us, not just our police officers.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel called the shootings unacceptable and pledged that the police were doing everything possible to protect all parts of the city.
We have way too many guns on the street and not enough values.
Despite the fact that Chicago police have taken 5,500 illegal guns off the streets so far this year and the city's homicide rate is declining, Chief of Patrol Fred Waller was blunt in his assessment of the weekend.
I'm not going to pour syrup over and tell you it's pancakes.
Back at Stroger Hospital,
I represent the hospital. I represent the area.
Congressman Danny Davis said the city had become a symbol of the need for national gun control.
We still don't do enough to control the flow of guns, especially automatic weapons.
In the meantime, as retaliation shootings are feared, police say they'll be conducting coordinated enforcement in targeted neighborhoods.
We will not. I promise you that we will not be defeated.
And tonight, among the victims are at least 11 teenagers. The youngest person shot was just 11 years old. Reporting live this evening outside of Chicago Police Headquarters on the South Side, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
So yeah, that's incredible.
Wow.
30 victims in 3 hours. And the thing is, they don't say, Pip, you're from Chicago, and I know the media generally wants to point this all towards gang violence. They didn't mention gang violence that I noticed. Do you think it's mostly gang related, partially gang related? Was there like some huge event there over
that's what I'm trying
that
to
time,
out.
or what happened?
Was like it seems like there's got to be like some people caught in the crossfires, right?
Right.
That's part of it. But even still, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people that they shooting out where people is at in public? I mean, if you mad at somebody, go to them. You know, not that you should shoot them, but
right.
You know, that's your beef is with them. Why teenagers got to come down? Why 11-year-olds got to go down?
Yeah, that's sad.
It reminds me of the 80s here, but even worse. But yeah, gang violence was bad back then.
Oh yes,
it was bad.
Associated LA with drive-bys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
we never had anything like that I'm aware of.
Well, this is not the first story that I've seen in the last 5 years with like double digits.
Yeah.
In a certain hour span in Chicago specifically.
Right.
Wow.
And they I don't know how to.
And the fact that they don't offer up any kind of reason lets me know that they kind of feel like, okay, this is like kind of more of the same. You know what I mean? Or like this is not unique.
Right. It's not unique at this point.
Unfortunately.
And the fact that it didn't happen in one location, so this wasn't like a mass shooting that happened. This was like shooting over here, shooting over there, shooting over here, shooting over there, shooting over here, and everybody was all rushed to this same hospital. That's
well, that's
crazy.
because that's the county.
The area, yeah.
Dang.
Strogers.
Like what our equivalent would be Killer King, or would have been Killer King, but it's shut down now.
Or more like county, LA County.
Yeah.
So that's that's
Killer King was county.
Is it?
It was.
I'm not
it's not around anymore.
Okay.
But
I'm
it
not familiar.
was.
That's what